All right, and welcome back to episode 21 of the Alec Frengos Show. This is a sports podcast centered around NBA and NFL. And today here I'm joined by Joey Price, Ryan McKellar, and Adam Eicholz. And today we've got a highly anticipated episode, AFC East record predictions. And we'll go through some more stuff before that. But before we get to these record predictions, I want to ask you guys, going into this year, what is one extremely hot take you have for this upcoming NFL season? And Joey, I'll start with you.
My main hot take for this season is I think the Chiefs will make the playoffs this year, but I think they're gone first round this year. I just don't see it this year for this team. The AFC's too stacked.
Well, I'll kind of reiterate off that. I guess there's going to be 1 year where they're going to lose in the first round. Mm-hmm. And first of all, these are hot takes, so it's not like you can't go like, oh my god, like you're delusional because I'm telling you to give me a hot take, something that probably won't happen, but that you want to call. So I feel like if they do like a matchup, if they get in a stacked AFC and they get a wild card team like the Ravens, the Bengals, whichever one lose the division, like if they don't get the bye and then they got to play the Bills, Dolphins, or Jets. Those are AFC championship level games. So yeah, that it definitely is a possibility, but it's not one I would personally stretch for. What do you think?
My hot take is that the Washington Commanders will make the playoffs as a 7 seed. Look at the last spot going in there. I think Eric Bieniemy.
You believe in him?
I believe in him. Offensive coordinator. I think he can boost that offense very well. Get that run game getting back to what it should be with the switches all the time. Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson. But no, I think they can for sure maybe squeak in there as a 7 seed.
Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
I don't really know if this is a hot take, but I got the Lions finishing the 3rd seed in the NFC.
So you're pretty high on them.
And going at least the 2nd round.
So Lions win a playoff game. Yeah. I think that's a pretty hot take. For a team that hasn't made the playoffs in almost a decade, I think that's a pretty hot take. Because obviously I can't stand the Lions, and I'm not high on them at all. But do you have the Lions winning a playoff game? We'll get to it after. But can you see that happening?
Yes, I can.
What do you think?
I could see them home game. If they somehow get a home game in the playoffs, I think they can win one. But outside of a home game, I mean, home field advantage is a lot in playoffs, in my opinion. So I don't know. I mean, they got a lot hanging on them because everyone thinks that finally the Lions are back. They'll make playoffs go somewhere. But I think they can win one game max this year in the playoffs.
For me, I was gonna go. The route saying the Lions won't make the playoffs. I do have them in at the wild card seed, but I think it is a possibility that the team doesn't make the playoffs. I don't want to go too off on them because I'd rather say it when Jay's here because I know he won't like it. But for another one that I'd say is Jordan Love instantly becomes an MVP candidate. I think I've seen a lot of stuff this preseason with Jordan Love where he just looks ready to play a full NFL season. I think Matt LaFleur is a safe blanket for him for a head coach. He can scheme up some pretty good things, and I'd say a fairly weaker division competition wise. I think Jordan Love, I wouldn't rule it out of the picture because of the defense, and if he plays good off the jump, that the team can win the division. I don't think it will happen, but I just want to throw it out there. Jordan Love, he could be an MVP candidate, I think. Going into his first technically full season as an NFL QB. Yeah. What do you think? Jordan Love MVP evaluation. What's your evaluation on Jordan Love?
Well, I think he's good, and has high expectations coming in after Aaron Rodgers, who the Packers really have never had a questionable QB. So he has high expectations this year, and I don't know if he can be an MVP candidate, but I could see him being a top 15 quarterback after this season.
Yeah? What do you think?
MVP candidate is a very hot take. I don't know if we can get to it next year, especially because it's just basically his first full season. Let's say rookie season almost. But I don't think he'll be able to do it next year. I mean, maybe you could talk about that in 3 years from now, but I think next year is a very hot take to say, yeah.
All right. Pretty short episode today, but before we go into the division predictions, I want to get to a would you rather Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to give some names and we're going to go around the table and say here who we're picking. First name, Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
Sure, I'll go Justin Herbert.
It's close. I think
I
that
like-
Herbert's better now. I feel like Rodgers he hasn't lost a lot, but he's lost a little bit, where I think Herbert just slightly has the edge over him.
I might go Rodgers just
Yeah.
because from more experience.
That's fair.
Because last year when the Chargers blew a 27-0 lead, Herbert just wasn't really able to get that done. And I would just rather more experience on a team.
That's fair. Next name, Lamar Jackson. Go ahead, Joey.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
I was thinking about this. I feel like they're kind of like on the same level, like 6'7", 5'6", something around there. And it's tough. I think I'd slightly lean Aaron Rodgers just because of how good of a pure passer he is. But if Lamar can stay healthy and have a full season, I wouldn't hesitate to say Lamar.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going Rodgers. And once again, just more experience as well.
That's fair. We'll go to the next name here. Deshaun Watson.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, for sure.
I'll also go Rodgers.
Yeah, it's Rodgers.
Last two names, Trevor Lawrence.
Aaron Rodgers, but Trevor Lawrence, I think he surpasses him after this season.
Okay.
I'm still going Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, this is definitely a tight one, but right now I think I'd have to go Rodgers. He's less turnover free, and he's just the better veteran quarterback right now.
Yeah, I agree. Right now it's Rodgers, but I think in a couple of years it's going to be Lawrence.
It's fair. Last name, Dak Prescott.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, for sure.
Yeah, it's Rodgers.
What LaShawn McCoy said, Dak is ass. Dak is
It's
ass.
not that bad, but
Even though I have the
Dak is
Cowboys #1 seed, Dak is ass still. But we'll just get right to it here because I know there's going to be a lot of debates. AFC East division predictions, and then we'll go through our AFC playoff outlook for who we got and what seeds. So, Joey, I'm going to get you to lead us off here at number 4. Go ahead.
Number 4, I got the New York Jets at 9-8. I think this team is. I think this is the Denver Broncos of last year. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to take too much control of this team, and they're just so hyped up with the hard schedule. Like the first 6 games they have before their bye, like they could go 1-5 and be out of the playoffs just like that. I think, and I think with Rodgers coming in, I don't know. I just don't like.
Is this a little bit biased just due to Nathaniel Hackett?
It's not biased.
You have to be.
You look at their
realistic, though.
schedule and find more than 10 wins. I can't do it.
All these teams do have the very similar schedule, though, right?
All right, yeah, I'll see.
So that's fine. New York Jets, number 4,
9-8.
Go ahead.
I have the New England Patriots at number 4, 7-10. I just think that their division for them, based on their team, it's very hard because I think the 3 other teams in the division can easily sweep them.
Hard division.
But I do have them being able to poke out one win against the Jets at home.
Okay.
I think that's a game that Bill Belichick can pull out of his sleeves and get a win
Swept by
there.
Finns and Bills.
Yeah, I think so. But now the Patriots, they got to show me a pass game before I can really say anything. Like it's just checkdowns, runs, 10 yards. I don't really see
They
these
just don't
big
have any
bombs.
receivers.
It's like they got to show me something. Like, okay, maybe what if they go first 3 weeks, boom, they're sparking the ball, they're flinging it around a lot. Then okay, maybe you got to pay attention to the Patriots. But as of right now, it seems like their offense is kind of the code's already been cracked, and it's kind of easy to play defense against.
You aren't wrong. Coming in at number 4, I have the New England Patriots at 8-9. I just think that they will be around 500 just because they win some games that people don't expect them to win. They just fight out some scrappy wins, but overall, the defense will always be what it is with that DNA and Bill Belichick and Steve Belichick as long as they're there. The offense is just in shambles, to put it into words. It's terrible. I actually feel bad for Mac Jones because I think he does have a talent where if he went to San Fran instead of Trey Lance, he could have worked a system and made a Super Bowl with this team because he's not very injury prone. He's a systematic QB. That's what he did at Bama with all those weapons. And he hasn't been put in a situation. He's been put in a situation where he needs to be a playmaker. Like someone in the Patriots offense, you need someone like Lamar or someone that can run around and make plays for you because they don't have the excellent receivers. Mac Jones is a field general, and he can't be a field general with Juju Smith-Schuster and Tyquan Thornton. That's just how it is. Patriots for me, 4th in the division, 8 and 9.
Because I think Mac Jones could have easily done what Brock Purdy did last year. If
And
he was
more.
On the 49ers. I think he could have easily
more.
done that. So, yeah, he's getting held back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I got the same. Patriots at 4, but I have them at 5 and 12. I don't feel like they're a bad team. Just I feel like when you're playing in the AFC East,
this division schedule is very tough.
yeah,
very tough.
And when you're playing a third of your season against teams like the Dolphins, Bills, and Jets, like that's just so hard.
I get it.
So yeah,
It's just
I have them last.
Just a little bit disrespectful, a little bit.
Sorry.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Number 3, New England Patriots, 9 and 8. I actually like this team. I think Bill Belichick will have like one of his last like good seasons with this team. I think Mac Jones, he'll return to his 2021 form. I like this O-line, Zeke and Ramondre Stevenson. One of the best running back duos in the league, in my opinion. The receivers, the tight ends, they're not great, but I think that team can make it work since that's what they've had to deal with
Yep.
for however long. And then the defense is just amazing. Like, so much depth, stars at every position.
Yeah, Gonzalez is going to be huge for this team too, because what they did lack is corner, and finally Belichick drafted the big name guy in the draft instead of the Cole Strange BS and stuff like that. It's going to be good. It's going to be exciting to watch Gonzalez because he's going to be in kind of a sauce position. He won't be as good as him, obviously, but just where you throw him in against number ones and see how he matches up right away coming into the NFL.
I have the Jets at 11 and 6. I think this is where the dogfight begins for the division.
Yep.
Unlike you, I don't think they'll be the Denver Broncos of last year because Aaron Rodgers is just...
Aaron Rodgers.
He's better than Russell Wilson by a lot, so I think it's just Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the glimpse of it in the preseason there, like, he hasn't really lost anything, and he's still coming in on a team where there's good wide receivers on that team, like a young wide receiver one, Garrett Wilson. I think they can definitely pull out 11 wins. I mean, most of them will come out of division because it's going to be tough to even, I mean, maybe you'll pull out 1-1 against the Bills, Dolphins. You might get swept, but I think the Jets, Aaron Rodgers, you can't take anything back from Aaron Rodgers.
Hell no.
He'll just go out and get you wins. He's still a top quarterback in this league. He's not going to digress like Russell Wilson did, so I think the Jets at 11 wins.
Yeah, if you're that great, it's just bound to happen where when you transfer over like Brady, it's just going to be inevitable. For me, coming in at number 3, I do have the New York Jets at 11 and 6 as well. 3 and 3 in the division. I think they do split with every team just because the Patriots, they'll poke one out. I got the Patriots 1 and 5 in the division, the one win from them. This Jets team, I've really liked it since Rodgers really landed there because it's this young core where they're just waiting for that big superstar to come in, and Rodgers just kind of showed them the way. I know you're not too high on the Jets because of all that trash talking and stuff like that, but I think this is a team where there's going to be a lot of ups and downs because they have these young guys, and if they slip a couple games that are tight games against competitive teams, they're going to start to doubt themselves and say, can this team contend for a Super Bowl? I do not have the New York Jets in the playoffs at 11 and 6. I think that's a very competitive AFC, which we'll get into. But yeah, I think the New York Jets are going to be a great football team. It's just that the division, it just makes it so hard, right? So go ahead, Adam.
Okay, so I'm actually on a different route. I have the Dolphins at 9 and 8, and I have them going 2 and 4 in the AFC East. The only thing I have to say about them is I don't trust Tua.
The health or the skill?
Both.
Okay.
I think what happened to him last year, I mean, I hope he doesn't get hurt again, but I just think he's not the greatest quarterback. Sometimes he makes bad reads, and I don't think he can lead a team to go far.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
I don't know if you have to agree with that, but that's...
Reiterate.
Personally, I think that he can't...
When it comes to me saying the Dolphins, then I'll talk about it.
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, number 2, Miami Dolphins, 9 and 8 as well.
Holy shit.
I have 3 teams at 9 and 8. I think Tua will get hurt, and this team will still finish 9 and 8.
Wow.
I think Vic Fangio coming on the defensive side, it means a lot for this team.
Sorry. What was their record last year?
9 and 8, I think.
9 and 8,
I think
10 and 7?
I think it was 10. I thought it was 10-7.
Can you pull it up?
Yeah.
But carry on with... Sorry. Well, as you type that in, This is very surprising to me because I was not expecting that to be 9-8. So
Yeah, they were 9.
they're 9. Okay, carry on. Vic Fangio.
Well, yeah, just a veteran coming in that knows how to coach a defense. And with Ryan knows how much skill this defense has. Obviously losing Ramsey, but they still have a good secondary to hang on to those stacked receivers in the AFC. And then the offense, obviously, too. I think he'll have a good year. Just he'll be out of some games. And then Tyreek Waddle, best wide receiver duo in the league. The only question mark is the run game in the O-line, as it probably is the worst in the league.
Worst run game in the league? Or combination?
Combination in the league. But the passing offense is just too elite.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, 9.
Go ahead. Here we go.
9's pretty low considering that's what they did last year. I don't think Tua is going to get hurt. They can only go up from what they did last year, right? I have the Dolphins coming in at 12-5, second in the division. I just think it's their time is now. Like, they got everything. I mean, Tua, from what I've seen in the preseason, him taking hits, he's changed the way he's falling after he's taking a sack. So I don't think he gets hurt. He's switching up a bunch of things. He bulked up. He's ready to take these type of hits. And I think when he was playing healthy, he was MVP candidate. This offense was moving. It was flying. But the reason why I have him second, I don't think they can get past the 12-win mark at all, just because I think, like last year, there was a stretch where they were on the road against the Chargers, 49ers back-to-back, and he couldn't pull those games. And he couldn't pull those games out. So I think there's going to be another span in the season where 2 wins or 2 games against some big teams where you think they'll win, like on the road. I think maybe it'll catch up to him later in the year and he won't be able to pull those out. But I mean, I think 9 wins like they had last year going into this year, I think that's pretty disrespectful, honestly. Like they've only gotten better from the offseason. No, they didn't lose anyone big, getting Tua back healthy. So I was like, 9 wins in my opinion is like almost like a disgrace.
Yeah, we can argue this a little bit more, but I'm the last person that wants to defend the Dolphins, but I think that both you guys having the Dolphins at 9-8, I think it's very unrealistic. I think it's very unrealistic just because of the team they were this year. They had if you want to admit it or not, they had a bottom tier defense last year. Their defense was not good last year, and now you add a top, say the best corner in the game and a top 3 defensive player overall.
But is he out for a while, Ramsey?
He's gonna be back though eventually.
When?
Like Christmas.
No, he'll be back before that.
He'll be back in 6 to 8 weeks. But and you bring in this defensive coordinator in Vic Fangio, who is known, and you know him. He is an elite defensive play caller. Who was the defensive play caller last year? Because Flores went out.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
the
bald white guy, right?
It was.
I forget his name.
He was on the Patriots before. I totally forget his name, but he looked terrible. It was like.
I don't know, but I know he wasn't the greatest.
No, he wasn't.
But yeah, I just think that the Dolphins coming in at 9-8 is fairly low because I think that Tua will play more games than he did last year.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. For sure will play more games than he did last year. So coming in at number 3, I do have the coming in at number 2, I do have the Miami Dolphins at 11-6. 3-3 in the division as well. The division's a dogfight. We all know that. But out of division games, I think they pull out some big-time games, and then they're going to slip a couple to some competitive teams, right? But you saw last year when they played the Bears, the Texans, they'll just pump them and run them over, right? So this team, to me, it's very good. It's definitely taken a step up, and I trust them more than the Jets because they have more veterans, and they've been together more. Like, they just added pieces like Ramsey. Like, now you got Lazard, Cobb, Rodgers coming in. You've got Amos coming in. There's just a bunch of different guys coming into one team where you're going to try to mesh it together and make it work right away. I just think I like the Dolphins more because they've been around the block together. And, yeah, Dolphins for me, number 2 in the division at 11-6.
Okay, so for me, I was trying to be as real as possible. I got the Bills second at 12-5. I have them here with that record not because of the team, but of what their schedule is. I think up until the bye, which is I think week 13, I want to say, I only have them losing 2 games. but it's after that when they play against the Chiefs and Eagles. Like, that's a really tough schedule.
Very.
But yeah, I don't think it's anything wrong with the team. I just think that's a very hard schedule.
Okay, 12-5.
Yep.
Go ahead, Joey. Number 1.
Number 1, Buffalo Bills, 13-4. I think we all know that this team's really gonna break out this year, like continue their success. Josh Allen, he's in line for a big year, and then the offense, it's gonna be great. And then the defense, it's gonna have tough tasks in this division, like the Dolphins and Jets, but I think they're built for it if Von Miller gets back to what he was.
I think the big piece for the Buffalo Bills defense is the front line.
Yeah.
Gregory Rousseau, Von Miller, even put Matt Milano in there because he's kind of the general of all that defense. And then you got interior guys.
Ed Oliver.
Who's the guys? What's the guy's name that fought Josh Allen last year in training camp? Is he still there or is he gone?
Daquan Jones.
I don't know, but he's just a big body that I know can fill the run.
Yeah.
The D-line's just been relatively good. Sometimes a little bit weak in the running game.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can get after the quarterback.
Yeah, I think so too. I just think this team is just, they're built for a big time year, I think. I think with just young and old guys that are just very good.
And the media's against them, and if they react in a positive way, this is going to be a big time year for the Buffalo Bills. Go ahead, Ryan.
I have the Bills leading the division 12-5 as well, but getting the upper hand on the Dolphins.
Okay. Division record or conference record?
Conference record.
Okay. So what do you have them both in the division?
Both 4-2 in the division.
Okay.
So conference record, but I think the Bills, like, I think this is finally the year that they start to really harp it, where it's like back in the day where you have your best receiver, you got to get him the ball. Like, by all means necessary, until they start doubling you on every play, you got to get your best guy the ball.
Yep.
I mean, at the start of the year, they were better when Stephon Diggs was getting the ball like majority of the time on offense, and then they somehow started to get away with it, and then they started to lose games. But I think the Bills, the division has been in their control for the past couple of years since Tom Brady has really left. Mm-hmm. I think it's not going to change just because it just seems like the Bills are a regular season team. Like, they'll always be their regular season, but then it's going to be again in the playoffs. I think they'll get to the playoffs, and they might crumble in the playoffs again. But it could be this year. It's like they win out of the second round of the playoffs, and then you could be talking about Super Bowl, but it's just getting over that second round hump. But then even this year, the first round is going to be even harder. But the Bills are just a steady, reliable team, I think, with Josh Allen. But I'm not too high on their defense, considering that they kind of got torched by the Dolphins in the playoffs there. But, I mean, the Bills' defense,
it's shaky at times.
But it can also be really good at times. Yeah. So that's why I think the Bills will still have control of this division, even with Rodgers coming in, the Dolphins getting better. It's just, I think, the way it's going to go.
I'm right in line with you, Joey. Coming in at number 1, I do have the Buffalo Bills at 15-2.
Oh,
big time year.
Crazy.
You think we're only losing 2 games?
I think that this is possible because, like I've reiterated too, Josh Allen, Diggs, everything that's happened, the DeMar Hamlin situation, the shootings, Buffalo, just all this animosity built up for this team, where it's just like you've got to eventually explode. Mm-hmm. And I might be a little far off saying 15-2, but it just shows the perspective that I put this team in, that they have to have so much anger, distraught, and just everything built up, where you just got to go out there and you have to kill teams. Mm-hmm. You have to absolutely kill teams week in and week out. And for me, that's what I do have the Buffalo Bills doing. First in the AFC, first in the AFC East. Josh Allen and the Bills, big time year. We'll see about the playoffs, though.
Well, I hope that happens, but I got the Jets at 1. I got them at 14-3.
Woo!
I just feel like last year their team all around, they had everything, but there was their QB, which is not good at all, and going out and getting a guy like Rodgers, who's been there before, I feel like he can lead this team.
Yep.
And like I said, just all around, I think they're going to struggle a little bit at the start, but then eventually.
So high on the Jets.
Yeah, I'm high on them. And I have them finishing second in the AFC.
What do you got to say about that? Because you do have the Jets at 8-9 or 9-8.
9-8. Like, I see the hype around them.
Everyone has to, but it depends how you evaluate them.
I don't know. Like, their
You're
offense
low, very
is
low.
so overrated.
Yeah,
Like, Dalvin Cook is not that guy anymore.
but they
Breece Hall is coming off an ACL injury, and the O-line's not good at all. So I don't see the run game being, like, over the top with, like, 2-star running backs.
I don't think you can say the O-line's not good at all.
It's not. Look
Mekhi
at it.
Becton, if he
good.
can stay on the field, he's very good.
Their best player is Elijah
Vera-Tucker. You got
Then they have
Connor
Noah.
McGovern, I think, at center, if I'm pronouncing the
Oh, he's
last
been on
name
the
right.
Bills now.
There's, like,
No.
the McGovern brothers.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, his brothers?
Okay, so yeah, he's there. Like, they aren't scrubs. Like,
I don't know.
he was on the Cowboys, I believe. He
Yeah.
was throwing snaps for Dak, but I think that this team, they'll be able to hold up the Jets just because of Aaron Rodgers. Because he just, when greatness comes down to your team, it just elevates you another step, no matter what level you play at. And yeah, I think the Jets do have a good season, but I do have them missing the playoffs as well. Do you have we'll go to the AFC playoffs outlook here, and do you have the Jets in the playoffs?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
So I'll start with you, Joey, with your matchups. Who do you have the bye, and then your matchups for the AFC?
My bye is the Buffalo Bills, and then the 2-7 is the Chiefs versus the Dolphins.
Okay.
3-6 is Bengals versus the Chargers, and 4-5 is Jaguars versus the Browns.
Okay. Go ahead.
I got the Chiefs getting the bye. My 7-2 matchup is Ravens at the 7, Bengals at the 2.
Mm-hmm.
6-3 matchup, Jets-Bills. Jets at the 6, Bills at the 3, and then my 5-4, Dolphins at the 5, Jaguars at the 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I think looks pretty good to me.
Yeah.
On paper.
For my 1, obviously the Buffalo Bills. My 2-7 matchup is Miami going to Baltimore. My 3-6, I have the Chargers going to Kansas City. And then my 4-5, I have the Bengals going to Jacksonville.
Okay, so for me, I got the Bengals with the bye
Yeah.
at 15-2. And the 2-7 is the Jets at 2. And who do I have here? And the Steelers at 7
Ooh, okay.
at 11-6. And the 3-6 are the Chiefs and Bills.
Yep.
And then the 4-5 is Jacksonville and Baltimore.
Chiefs, Bills.
Yep.
That would be crazy.
Who's
First
your
round matchup.
2 seed, sorry?
Jets.
Jets and then Chiefs bye?
Nope.
Bengals bye.
Bengals bye.
Bengals.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll go through here. We'll go through the Jets schedule and we'll go through the Dolphins schedule. Joey,
right.
we can go through this Jets schedule here first. Do you have the Dolphins schedule down or no?
No,
That's fine. It's fine. We'll pull it up. Go ahead, Joe.
At home against the Bills.
This is week 1, so
Yeah.
I have the Jets taking that
Yeah?
right off the gate.
You do?
Yeah.
What do you think will happen there?
I think I have the Bills
I have the
taking
Bills
that game.
too.
You have the Bills?
Yep.
I'd have to look, but I think it's a toss. I have them splitting, so
Mm-hmm.
go ahead.
At Dallas, I have Dallas winning.
I have Dallas as well.
At Dallas
Yeah.
for the Jets. These are tough games right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
I think I had the Jets winning that. I don't know because
Tough, right? Toss up.
Yeah.
I'd give the slight edge to the Cowboys.
Home against the Patriots.
I think
They'll
that's a
probably
win.
win that.
Jets, yeah.
At home against the Chiefs,
I'm taking the Chiefs.
I have the Chiefs.
Yeah, have to.
I think I had the Jets, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but
Yeah.
And then in Mile High,
Oh
Broncos all day.
No, that's
Jets.
that's a
Jets.
Jets pounding because of how much shit
Sweep.
they're talking. If Sean Payton wants to go out there, Sean Payton's not
Broncos
the one.
will win that game.
Sean Payton's not the one on the field playing. I don't know why he's running his mouth like all this. And
Nathaniel
Rodgers,
Hackett isn't on the
oh,
field.
but Rodgers being that close with Nathaniel Hackett, that's gonna light a fire under him. And I think that Jets win that game by 30.
At home against the Eagles, I have the Jets winning this one.
I think it's a game that the Jets lose.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I had them losing.
I think I have the Eagles.
And then off the bye, against the Giants,
Win.
Jets.
win. At home against the Chargers,
Win.
I have a win.
Win.
At the Raiders,
Win.
I have a win.
And
In Buffalo, I have a loss.
loss.
I think they split.
Loss, yeah.
Win.
Loss,
Or actually, no, I think Buffalo sweeps.
Sorry, I have the Bills 5-1 in the division. I have them splitting with the Dolphins and sweeping the Jets and Patriots.
Yeah, same.
So I do have that as a win. Loss. Sorry.
At home against the Dolphins, I have them splitting.
Well, yeah, same. I have them splitting. So win, loss, whatever.
At
you
home
want.
against the Falcons and Texans, I see that both as wins.
Pump them both.
And then in Miami, we'll just say whatever.
Loss. Yeah. So you've got them at 9-8.
Yeah.
It's tough, right? There's so many games you go on there. You play the Bills twice and the Dolphins twice, right? So that's 4 right there. Eagles, Cowboys, Chiefs. That's 8. That's 8 like elite level games. And then the Patriots are no walk in the park for
They'll
2
lose
games.
one of the Patriots for sure.
So that's like not 9 games they'll lose, but 9 losable games. Obviously they'll win some big time games.
Yeah.
But it's tough, right?
I mean, I think putting Aaron Rodgers at 9, because that's what he did in Green Bay last year, didn't he? 9 wins?
8 and 9.
8. Okay, that's basically 9 wins, and he's got a better team than what he had in Green Bay last year. So I think I don't really care about the division because he'll get a bunch of out of division wins, but I think he will not go back to an 8 team. I think this team is just built in front of him. It's ready. Their coach, I love Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
He's a great coach. He knows what he's doing. So it's like the Jets are a team, like, I don't care that they're bringing a bunch of guys from a different team. Like, Rodgers is Rodgers. He's always a game changer. I don't care if you put him on the Texans, he'll pull out wins. It's just Rodgers is Rodgers.
Yeah, that's just so fair. I think that Rodgers just basically runs his own offense, right? So I think the narrative of Nathaniel Hackett, he's not going to do good with Rodgers. He's been with him in Green Bay his
Because
whole
Rodgers
career.
doesn't change his offense.
Yeah,
He's just vintage Rodgers,
Exactly.
no matter where he plays.
But, like, how many wins? I mean, how many extra losses do you have just because of, like, Hackett
None.
on the Jets?
No bias here.
Come on.
Okay, maybe the Broncos game. I'm fine with 10-7. I do not see 11-6.
So you have them out of the playoffs, Jets?
Yes.
Do you have them out of the playoffs?
Jets, I got them in the playoffs.
Sorry, yeah.
I have them
And then,
in.
yeah, you have them
too.
in the playoffs. Yeah, I have the Jets just at the number 8 seed. It's them and the Dolphins. I both have at sorry, let me pull it up. I both have them at 11-6, and I both have them at 3-3 in the division. But it's just the tiebreaker here. The Dolphins conference record. Sorry, I do have the Dolphins at. I think it's I don't have it on here, but I think it's 8-4, and the Jets 7-5. So. Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough for the Jets to. Well, you have the Bills. Do we all have the Bills in the number 1 seed?
Except Adam.
I don't.
Adam has the Jets.
So, I think it's definitely going to be tough for the Jets or Dolphins. One of them are going to miss the playoffs, I think. Well, that's just my opinion because I have them tying, right? So, we'll see what happens. But I feel like that's enough talk for now, and we should just let the regular season start, right?
Yeah.
So, done with these predictions, and we'll have Super Bowl predictions, MVP predictions coming up next week. But you want to give your Super Bowl MVP prediction if you have one?
Oh, it's Josh Allen.
MVP?
Yeah.
Super Bowl
I
prediction?
got the Bills and 49ers,
Okay. Bills 49ers?
and the Bills winning, obviously. Yeah.
No bias.
Well, no, that's obviously biased, but
Not biased. They can do it.
Anyways, you got anything else that? Oh, we don't have to go through the Dolphins' schedule prediction, but do you just want to reiterate on that? I think it's very disrespectful, the 9-8 record them both having.
Yeah, I think so too, because they got better at every position in the offseason, and they're getting guys healthy back. Like, safety position, like Brandon Jones was hurt last season. They're getting back. They added Deshaun Elliott from the Lions.
I like him.
That's a plus. They added Ramsey, Cam Smith, Cater Kohu's second year. Howard's back healthy or whatever. Added there too.
You can even, like I said last week, you can even put Needham in there for depth,
Yeah.
like legit depth, just for a couple reps.
And then, I mean, their wide receivers, Waddle,
That
Hill.
don't need to be
They
explained.
added
Chosen.
Anderson. I don't think he's garbage.
There'll be a couple big play.
I think he'll be
threats.
pretty decent. Then Braxton Berrios.
I like him.
I mean, if they do end up getting Jonathan Taylor too, like, it's just this team's crazy. It's like, I don't think 9 wins is like what you're supposed to put them at, because they'll pull out these big wins.
I know you've got a reason why you're pretty low on the Dolphins. Besides Tua's health, really
Well,
the only reason why.
That's the main reason. And it's no disrespect to it's just the schedule in the AFC in general.
But I mean, their defense, it was just they were losing these games.
Read me out the
through
losses you
cakewalk.
have.
Yeah.
Patriots, Bills.
So you have them splitting with the Patriots?
Yes.
Splitting with the Bills or getting swept?
Splitting with the Bills.
Splitting with the Jets?
Yeah.
Okay.
3-3.
Okay.
And then losing the Eagles,
Mm-hmm.
Jets, Commanders, Cowboys, Ravens.
You like the Commanders, but no, come on. We
Yeah,
gotta be
I like the
serious.
Commanders, but I said that was my hot take for a 7 seed.
Well,
like,
you obviously got to throw in the one upset that no one
Yeah, that's
what I
expects.
did.
But
it's
do you have
not
a
gonna-
win that really that you think they'll lose? But you have them beating the Chiefs in Germany.
Yeah.
So
Tyreek Hill.
it's just like I don't even really know what to say because I think this team is like very good. And 9-8 shocks me a lot. It really shocks me because this team, one, got better, and two, I think Tua will be healthier than he was last year, obviously. Because if Tua misses the amount of games that he does last year, Dolphins are on the phone looking for a new quarterback. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but they're looking for a new quarterback.
Like, what did they really add other than Ramsey?
Vic Fangio,
Okay.
safety depth,
safety
corner
depth.
depth, which
depth.
they were
Receiver
lacking,
depth. Cedric
and
Wilson was
starters.
ass.
Yeah, got more receivers to play.
And it's just, like, not a big difference to put them
What's the
over
QB
top.
room? Is it Mike White and Skylar Thompson?
Yeah, which I mean, Mike White's a starter. He was last year for a little bit, which.
I think that's a backup.
But
QB
yeah,
backup.
but like they just got better in everything. I don't understand like why they're getting disrespected.
If like you said, one of the worst rushing offenses in the league.
But it wasn't that bad.
Hold on. If Jonathan Taylor lands to the Miami Dolphins for just picks, what do you think?
The record? Or just the team?
Both.
I think they will definitely win 10 games with Jonathan Taylor because it just creates another dynamic to the offense.
I think if you can put Jonathan Taylor in there without losing any key pieces, with Mike McDaniel's offense, that team's a playoff lock.
Yeah.
Lock.
I have them in the playoffs.
You do?
Yeah.
At 9-8?
The AFC's not going to have, like, 7 teams at 11 wins.
The
It's
last
not
2 years,
possible.
it's been 10-7. Some guys have missed, right? Some teams have missed at 10-7 last year.
Yeah, but the Dolphins made it at 9-8 last year.
I think the Dolphins just got to re-sign Christian Wilkins before talk about
Well,
anything
he
else.
was telling me before you got here that they're deciding between Wilkins or Taylor who to pay.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know. I mean, because they just re-signed Zach Sealer, maybe best run stuffer on
though?
the team. He's
Over Wilkins, though?
run stuffing, yeah, he is. But Wilkins just a big dog, TFL guy. So I mean,
And an instigator.
you got to re-sign him, especially. I mean,
You have to get him back.
he's
Josh
a key
Allen's
piece.
kryptonite.
Yeah,
Remember that?
Yeah, I think
Sounds
so.
kryptonite. Oh no.
But I think if you add Taylor to this offense,
Yeah.
it's going to be a very scary team to watch because it's going to be so hard to stop them because if you load the box, you've got Tyreek Hill and Waddle one-on-one. And if you leave the box open, you got one of the best pure rushers when healthy in the league to run free on. The O-line, it's not magnificent, but if you put someone like Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, it's going to be great,
It'll be
right?
good,
Yeah.
So we'll see in the next coming days. I hope Jonathan Taylor, 1, gets traded before the season starts, and 2, before a fantasy draft because I need to see what type of value. Because if he goes to the Dolphins, they kind of got some backups behind him. He's obviously going to be the workhorse, but Mostert, Jeff Wilson, and rookie Achane, who rookies they like to give a lot of touches to. I want to see him go somewhere where he can just be a beast workhorse.
Yep, for sure.
You got a prediction for Taylor to go to?
I'll probably just say the Dolphins, or I think the Bills were asking for a trade.
Well, they're always in the mix.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
superstar, it's Dolphins, Bills.
Yeah.
Chiefs. What do you think? Do you want to give an update? I know we gave a prediction where you said, was it Vikings?
I think I said the Vikings, yeah.
Do you like that still?
No, because they just showed they don't want to pay a running back. They released Dalvin Cook.
And now Hawkinson wants the biggest tight end contract
Yeah,
of all
they
time.
just don't like paying running backs, but I don't know, Philadelphia maybe. Miami.
Really? Philly? But like Swift, Gainwell, or Penny would have to go in that
Yeah,
trade, right?
for sure.
And that's, from a fantasy outlook, it's going to be tough because when Indianapolis trades Jonathan Taylor, I think they're going to have to get a running back 2 or 1 back for him. Like if they trade him to the Dolphins, you got to like a pick and Mostert or Wilson, right? For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably give up a chain for him.
You would?
Yeah.
A second
I mean,
and
they're around the same age.
a second
so
and
it's
a
like,
chain?
Yeah, I mean they're around the same.
You
Yeah,
haven't really
I mean
seen, though.
I know. I mean, it's around the same age, but it's like because you're not going to keep two young running backs like that. I don't think because you won't be able to develop the other one. But I don't know. I mean, definitely, I think it'd be Mostert on the way out. Or Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
But
We'll see though. I still do want to see Jonathan Taylor to the Bears just because I think that rushing aspect of the
That'd be
offense would be
sick.
so dynamic.
I think they said they're out on Jonathan Taylor.
It'd be sick. I think they gave to Taylor.
Well, I'd like to see them in on
okay.
per Burns.
Yeah.
It was like they gave him to like the 27th or something of August for Jonathan Taylor. So I mean, he will be.
That's today.
Oh, and maybe it's 29. Because it was 27, 28, or 29. It was. It was one of them. But because I think he'll be gone before our fantasy draft, or
I
he'll
hope.
be staying. Because
if Jonathan Taylor isn't traded and he's still demanding a trade for a fantasy draft, I don't know where he goes in a comp league. I know we had the
Yeah, I don't know.
definitely,
free
I don't
draft
think the
the
first
other.
4 rounds.
4?
I don't think because
I would take him in the 3rd round.
It's so hard though because
Actually, sure.
if he goes to a team with like solidified dudes behind him,
Yeah, but if you're paying for running back, you're just gonna throw him in.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if he goes to the
Because I got him in our draft that we're in. He's my
Yeah.
running back 1, so I hope he does land somewhere where
Yeah.
he can be in that workhorse role. Like Indianapolis right now is perfect. He ain't got no one behind him.
Well,
Zach
or
Moss.
I think Indianapolis might just be like saying like your value's not that high. Like we'll put you on the trade market, but like no one really wants
Will
you.
pay you or no?
one,
Just
no one will.
what?
No one's giving us the price that you think you're worth, and then they'll just keep him and then you'll hold out.
That's what I hate. I'm glad.
Yeah.
One thing we can also say, Josh Jacobs
Yeah.
signed a new deal.
Yeah,
I love
that's
to
good.
see it because he's coming off a career year. He
Yeah.
deserves to get paid.
Mhm.
Obviously, the running back market's holding him back from what he should have been paid. If he had
Yeah.
that season a couple of years ago, he would have been in the 13, 14s, right?
Yeah.
But it's good because, especially for us fantasy players, you don't want to see someone like that hold out because it just adds another great piece to be competitive with. So, yeah. Anything else? Taylor to the
no.
Finns
Yeah.
Or Bills.
or Bills.
Or Bills.
But yeah, that's going to do it for episode 21 of the Alec Frengos Show. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time for Super Bowl and MVP predictions.